Hello there, I'm Charlie, aka Ronan Logan X, and this is Ronan Logan X Reviews. In this video, I'm taking a look at the Marvel Legends Miss Marvel from the TV series Miss Marvel. Now, before we get into things, I just wanted to preface this video by saying that as far as the character of Miss Marvel goes, I'm not the most familiar with her. My primary experience is coming from a handful of appearances in animated series, as well as her featured role in the Marvel Avengers video game. But with that said, what I have experienced of the character, I've enjoyed for the most part, so I was really looking forward to the TV series, and was also looking forward to this figure, which seemed like a no-brainer as far as figures with impending releases goes. And with all of that said, let's get into it. Starting with accessories, this figure comes very light in that regard, with the only extras being a Build-A-Figure piece for Infinity Ultron, as well as a pair of alternate fisted hands. While these extras are not necessarily terrible, it is kind of disappointing that they left out any sort of power effects. I would have loved to have seen some sort of hard light giant fist or something just to add to the character, because as is, it's pretty darn lacking, I think. Moving on to articulation, while this figure does come with a decent amount of it, it still feels like a step backwards, especially when you compare it to other recent released Marvel Legends figures. And compounding that issue is the fact that the articulation in her legs are stifled by the skirt of her dress, making most of it moot. That said, it's not all bad, as you can get a few decent poses out of her with the articulation featured in the figure. So there is that at least. Finally, taking a look at the likeness featured on the figure, I have to say this is not the greatest, but at the same time, it's not the worst either. I mean, I can see hints of the actress Iman Vellani in the face sculpt, but it feels off, which is very unfortunate because when you put the figure next to something like the She-Hulk from the same exact wave, there's a real difference in quality of capturing that likeness in action figure form, at least in my opinion. So, with all of that said, I would still give this figure a recommendation, although not as high a one as I would like to. Despite my finding it lacking in the departments of articulation and likeness, it still does look really good for a Marvel Legends figure and does actually have some nice detail work on the costume. So I do think that it would still look good among your collection of Marvel Legends figures. It's just not a centerpiece figurine, in my opinion. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have found it helpful and informative in any decisions you might have regarding the purchase of this figure. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, and ring that bell icon if you'd like to be notified about any of my future videos. Also, if you might be interested in anything else of mine, you can find me on Instagram at RonanLoganX, where I post toy photography pictures as well as puppy pictures of my pup Ripley. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.